Krish here from CP Training Logs, just bringing you another video of my bench day. Well, it's really more my upper body day, really. What you're going to kind of see first of all is just me kind of warming up and doing my first few sets of bench. Today's my 10 by 3 day, so it's 10 sets of 3 reps with about 85% of my max. So again, yeah, apologies for the camera angle. This was a bit rubbish because I couldn't really find anyone to film it. But what you'll see soon is me actually breaking down my squat form, my bench form. So right now you should be seeing me kind of setting myself up for bench, and I'm actually going to pause the video really soon, just to kind of give you a breakdown as to what you should be looking out for in terms of when you set up your bench. So I've set up my bench. I'm down on the bench now. I've gripped the bar, and right now I'm getting a good arch in my back. As you saw there, I've just kind of tucked my elbows in a little bit, bit of internal rotation. Big breath in, just straight pause there. So the first thing you got to do is get a good arch in your back. The next thing, make sure your chest is high and you're driving your shoulder blades and your upper back into the bench, and then very slightly just make sure that you're gripping the bar really tight, and you turn your elbows in just a little bit, so that they're not going to be flared out once you start initiating the movement. And I find the best way to do that is really to imagine bending the bar with your pinky finger, and that will help you get into that position where you're where you can actually bend the bar, and then from the lift off, it's a big breath in, lift straight up, and you want to make sure that your bar path is straight up and down. Sometimes some people do a little bit of a J curve, but what you'll notice is that I keep my elbows tucked in as much as I can. I do go for a relatively wide grip here, so I just feel like it's more comfortable for me. And then it's just big breaths in every time, and then just big breath out, pushing my back into the bench and driving up. So that's pretty much bench form, and I never was the strongest bencher, so I just want to kind of give you my way of doing it. And then moving on, here we've got the lat pull down. Again, this is my upper body day, so I've just paused the video here, mainly because I wanted to talk about how you do a lat pull down, because you see loads of guys doing it wrong and they just start leaning back too much and yanking on the lever, and it really does nothing for your back. All it does, it activates your biceps a bit, and you start hitting your traps and your rear delts. But in terms of the actual lat activation, it does very little until you kind of do a few things that allow you to really initiate the movement with your lats. So the first thing that you want to do, what I advise people to do anyway, is take a narrower grip than you would see your average gym goer doing. Having a wide grip doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a wide back. It's just this myth that's been around for ages. So I like to go for a slightly wider than shoulder width grip, and then from that point I lean back just a tad to get a bit of a stretch on my lats. From that point on, the main thing that you need to do is a scapular retraction. You initiate the movement first with a scapular retraction, hold that position, and then pull down. And what you'll find is your lats will be engaged 100%, and you'll probably end up having to use a lot less weight than you thought you could, because after the first few reps it gets really tough. So I'm just going to let this video play, and kind of talk you through how the movement kind of goes. So like I said, first thing, take a narrow grip, big breath out, stretch the lats, slight lean back, scapular retraction, and then pull down, squeeze right at the bottom. Try and keep your elbows turned in again, just to maximize the lat activation. And just every rep, big stretch, big squeeze. Remember to breathe properly, keep your core tight, and that's really the best way, in my opinion, to get the most out of lat pull downs, and a good finisher for your back once you've done bench press. So my usual exercise sequence is I'll do a bench press, and then I'll do two back exercises. So it'll be one kind of vertical pull and one kind of horizontal pull. So obviously here the lat pull down is my my vertical pull. What you see next is actually going to be my dumbbell row. It's just a really simple supported row on a bench, just using 100-pound dumbbells for a few reps. And then I basically followed this up, which I haven't actually filmed because it was just, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I did a few sets. I believe I did 3 sets of bicep curls and 3 sets of a single arm tricep extension, but that was with a reverse grip. I actually got that movement from Johnny Candito. If you haven't checked his channel out, definitely go check it out. It's really, really good. It's a pure isolation exercise of the tricep, and once you've done heavy benching, you don't really want to be involving shoulders and chest and any other tricep exercise, so it's a really good movement for isolation. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I did after that. Less is more, really. You don't want to be doing too many sets right now because you're trying to focus on strength. But yeah, so that was my upper body session. Really simple, really basic, focusing on progression. And I'll bring you another video at some point with my deadlift. The last thing we did here was a face pull with a cable attachment, which is around about chest height. I advocate doing something like this pretty much every single session that you're doing a press movement. It's really good for your shoulders. It's more about shoulder health than how much weight you can pull on it. Just focusing on the squeeze, focusing on that rotation, external rotation. But yeah, so give that a shot, and I'll see you guys soon.